What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessica Hickson, and I spent 5 years working my way up to the top of an MLM before realizing they're just not all that they're cracked up to be. My goal with this channel is to rescue some Huns, to prevent some Huns from becoming Huns, and to also give those a voice who have left the Hun bot industry like myself. So you guys will often send me videos that you feel like I should see or that you want me to react to or what have you, and let me just say that one of the ones that you guys sent me recently really struck a chord with me. Like, I was genuinely getting upset and pissed off as I was watching this video, to the point where I was like, okay, I just need to stop and get my real raw reaction here because this is absolutely absurd. So that's what I'm gonna share with you guys today. If that sounds like something you'd like to see, definitely keep on watching. But first, don't forget to subscribe and hit that post notification bell if you'd like to be notified every time that I post. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like this type of content, and if you wish, follow me on all social media platforms at the Jessica Hickson.
It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling, and when you move.
Today's small business shout out goes to A Touch of Trouble Handmade, and I'll throw a few of my favorites up here, but I love this story in particular because Jessica reached out to me when her and her friend were both rescued from an MLM and decided to use their talents in more productive ways by starting their own children's clothing company. So all of their clothing is super adorable and also handmade by them. You can find them on all social media platforms at A Touch of Trouble Handmade, but of course, as always, I will leave all of their links in the description below as well. And back to the video. Okay, so like I mentioned before, you guys often send me videos that you want me to see or that you think I should react to, and this particular person is sent to me quite frequently. We have covered her before. She's not our favorite girl, but we have covered her before, and she's quite intense. I definitely see why this video was sent to me, because initially upon watching it, like 4 or 5 minutes in, less than that probably, I started realizing that this video is absolutely ridiculous, like absurd, and it pissed me off, to say the very least. Since we have covered her before, you guys might recognize who she is. If you do know her name, please do not leave it in the comments below because I will delete your comment. And do not reach out to this person specifically, please. And thank you, let's get started.
Hey everybody, what is up here? I hope that you are having a fantastic January 1st. It is the first day of a new year, and it is supposed to be an exciting moment, and it's not exciting for me. And so, you know, I'm really debating if I should even be live right now because there's so much going on in my head. And for those of you guys that don't know me, which a lot of you don't, I am not a processor. I'm very impulsive, okay?
So clearly she's pretty distraught about something, right? So let's just see what she's so distraught about. And I'm literally already shaking. I know what she's mad about, but I'll let you guys see.
Everyone's really happy right now. And everyone's all new year, new me, and you can conquer anything. And I'm just not. And so, you know, I debated on whether I should be coming live to you guys or not, but, you know, I think it's so important that you guys see real, raw transparency. I think it's so easy to look at people on social media. It's so easy to look at people who are doing things and crushing their goals, and they seem so unattainable. They seem so like, are they superhuman? That's why I want to come to you guys and be really transparent, because there's going to be moments in 2020, just like there were moments in 2019, that you don't crush your goal and that you don't get what you want.
I just want to say, isn't it crazy that we all started 2020, and I don't know if y'all's 2020 was as crazy as mine, but we all started 2020 just thinking like, it's just another year, and we had no idea what was in store for us. It was a literal shit show. For anybody else, maybe just me, I don't know. But it's just crazy. You like go into this new year and you're like making all these goals and you're like ready to make it the best year yet. And then 2020 comes in like a wrecking ball. It's like, not today.
And everyone's gonna tell you that it's okay. And it might not be okay. And, you know, we had a really huge goal we were working towards as a
Let me just say before she says anything else, I genuinely felt bad for her. When someone sent me this video, I was like, I don't know if I can cover this. Like, she's clearly distraught about something. Like, she's hurting on the inside, but why? Once I started watching, I was like, nope, I'm sharing.
Tribe. And shout out to you guys, man. There were so many of you that showed up, and I saw you and I felt you. And I actually was really hesitant to share the goal with them because I felt like it was going to come off selfish. And that's hard as a leader, you know, and I know that a lot of you aren't going to grasp what I'm sharing with you right now, but I hope that you'll remember this, and I hope that you'll watch it again. And if anything else, this moment is serving me more than it's serving you.
Narcissist.
We had a really big goal that I shared with them Sunday. And, you know, I had a birthday party Saturday, which was really awesome. And I came home and I was like, oh my gosh, we're so close to hitting 3 million in sales for last year. And what a huge goal, you guys. I remember 3 years ago when I was at the bottom of the totem pole and we did 24,000 in sales in the year and I had no idea what I was doing. And, you know, I think there was like 30 people on my team and there was 3 of us working, and like we've come so far. We had so much to be proud of. But at the time, we were about to crush 3 million in sales, and we needed about 15,000 volume, 15,000 in sales. And so Saturday night I went to bed and I was like, Jason, I don't know if I should share it. And he's like, you really should. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to think it's for me. I don't know if it's going to feel selfish. Like I was scared to share it. And so I woke up Sunday and I shared it, and we talked on our team meeting and I shared it. And they were so excited, and I just felt permission, and I felt excited to share it, and they wanted to rally around, and we worked so hard, and I know how to rally troops. I know how to duplicate, and we did all the things, and we didn't make it.
Is she literally serious right now? Let me just put this into perspective for you guys. 3 million in sales. If she made 10%, which she probably made more with all the bonuses and whatnot. If she made 10% of 3 million in sales, she was making $300,000 at least that year. And she's so distraught over not reaching this goal. What's that one Kardashian meme where she's like,
Kim, there's people that are dying.
when she loses her ring in the ocean? That's how I feel right now. I feel zero sympathy, other than the fact that I think this is stemming from a deep-rooted issue of her like suppressing all these negative feelings over the years of being within her MLM. I do feel sorry for that aspect of it, but this entire video pisses me off.
I don't want to hear that it's fine, because it's not fine. It sucks. And we had a goal of selling a certain pack, and we had 171. That was what we needed in about 72 hours. We needed 171. And we missed the goal by 9. And go ahead and drop a 2 below if you're like me, where you would rather miss a goal by like, you know, like 42 than 9. And I feel like I'm like all the emotions. Like I'm angry, I'm freaking sad, I'm frustrated, I want to blame people, like all over the place. And
so this particular person, I feel like makes Christianity a part of their brand. Like they're constantly quoting the Bible and telling you that God wants XYZ for you and whatever. Do they just forget about the part of the Bible that talks about greed? Like you're uncontrollably like sobbing, hyperventilating at one point because you didn't make 3 million in sales. Do we not see the problem here? This entire video literally just screams like selfish greed to me.
I'm so tired of everyone saying it's fine. I'm so tired of, and if you're like that, like it's okay. It's okay to not be fine. And so I wrote down 3 tips. Hold on, I gotta grab tissue.
Can we just talk about how her team probably feels watching this? Like they needed 100 and however many she said they needed, right? They needed 100 and whatever. They had 9 left to get. They obviously worked their tails off to help her reach this goal. And then she's sitting here being like, she wants to blame people. She's so frustrated with people, like making her team feel like they failed when they busted their butts to help her reach a goal that she had. It wasn't their goal, it was her goal. How do you think they feel watching this?
You know, I think that we live in this society where everyone's like, you're always supposed to be happy, and you're always supposed to have it together, and you're always supposed to know your next move, and you're always supposed to hustle, and grind.
I believe that right now, in this day and age, mental health is normalized and accepted and prioritized more than ever before. It's only within MLMs that this grind mentality, never stop pushing, keep going, positive mindset, suppress the negative, stay positive, self-development, like MLMs are the only place where that is prioritized. So maybe take a step back as an outsider, look inside and see what's really going on here, where the problem really lies.
And you know what? It's not fine. It's not fine. And I'm pissed. I'm pissed by 9 orders. We missed something. And so I wrote down 3 things that I want to share with you guys. And maybe you can tag a friend and maybe you can share this in your team page, and because it sucks. And I'm so tired of people not letting you feel that pain. Because if there's one thing that I learned in 2019 is that we're driven by purpose or we're driven by pain. And for those of you that just want to be fluffy, rah-rah, like, screw you, man. I'm sorry, but like, some of us need to feel that pain. Some of us need to feel the pain of disappointment because it reminds us what we never want to feel again.
I believe that this entire like mental breakdown, which I don't fault her for like having a mental breakdown given the circumstances, because I believe that it's like deep rooted within her suppressing these negative feelings throughout this MLM, however long she's been in at this point, her suppressing all these negative feelings. And like I've talked about in one of my mental health videos before, those feelings have to go somewhere. So if you just keep pushing them down, they're eventually going to overflow and stuff like this is going to happen.
You know, a lot of you like how to push through the suck. Some of you don't push through the suck because you won't feel it. And you might look at me and you're like, why are you beating yourself up? Why are you being negative? I'm not. I think what I'm doing is healthy. I think it's healthy that you feel it when it sucks. I think it's healthy that you call a spade a spade. I get so sick of people who live in this pie in the sky. That's why you don't achieve your goals. Because you're freaking, we call it in the church world, you're so heavenly minded, you're no earthly good. You don't know what it feels like. Because when you experience pain, you never want to experience it again. Who are my pain people? Like, drop a 3 below that.
And this is the part of the video that I really started to get upset. Like, I'm shaking just thinking about how I was feeling earlier when I watched this for the first time. Like you're sitting here talking about pain and comparing it to your paycheck not being as large as you wanted to, not reaching a sales goal that you wanted to reach because you wanted your paycheck to grow. And you're comparing that to like actual pain. 2020 for me was quite literally the most painful year of my life. You guys want to hear how my 2020 went? So my husband was deployed, right? Cool, whatever, it happens. We signed up for it, whatever. Shortly after my husband deploys, there is an active shooter case at my children's school, to the point of we were locked off of base, not able to come onto base to pick up our children from the school. Shortly after that, there were attacks on Iran that were specifically targeting military bases, US military bases near where my husband was at. You know how long 24 hours feels when you don't hear from your loved one who's gone? Shortly after that, I got to be the pallbearer in my friend's 1-year-old son's funeral. Her 1-year-old son. I got to be the pallbearer in his funeral. Quarantine started, was quarantined with 2 toddlers. Wasn't exactly the greatest, but they are blessings in my life and I was so thankful to have them. When you're going through so much mentally and you live in South Dakota where it's snowing in March and April and you're stuck inside with 2 toddlers and you have an actual real life business, a gym that had to be shut down at that time, and you have to deal with the toddlers dealing with their father being gone and not understanding a concept of time or what's going on, that was extremely hard. But I made it through that. Saw the light at the end of the tunnel, thought, okay, husband's coming home in a month, we're gonna make it through this. Month comes, 2-month extension on his deployment. Mind you, my friends within my MLM had already dropped me at the beginning of all of this. After that, my grandpa passed away on my sister's birthday. A couple months later, that same sister who lost her grandpa on her birthday, lost her baby at 41 weeks pregnant. Went in to deliver and baby didn't have a heartbeat. To top it all off, at the end of 2020, my brother so kindly was trying to organize a vacation for me and him and my birth father, And after we were making travel arrangements, my brother texted me and said, never mind. Dad doesn't want to see you. My dad didn't want to see me or his grandkids because I didn't make an effort to reach out to him in 2020. And here we're mad about not making $3 million in sales. $3 million. You're comparing pain to not getting what you want out of your paycheck. So disgusting. I'm sorry guys, I tried to hold it together. I did. This stuff just makes me sick.
Why I'm at where I'm at. Because I remember what it's like drowning in debt. I remember what it's like working 50 to 60 hours a week, only being paid 40. I remember what it's like not seeing my kids all the time.
I am not in any way trying to compare people's pain, but just take a step back and look at this. Like, you are complaining and sobbing and hyperventilating about not making $3 million in sales. Did that change you being able to see your kids all the time? Did that change you being in debt? Like, did that change anything about your situation that you have such a reason to be upset when there are, not trying to be Kim K here, but there are literally people dying? Not to mention a pandemic with people dying. Like, what? Of course, the pandemic hadn't started at this point because this was January of 2020, so I'm not gonna throw that on her, but I cannot put this into perspective. I don't like to say this to people, but get over yourself. Get over yourself.
And if you want to push through the suck in 2020, you have to allow yourself to feel it. And you get to pause. You get to pause. And I give you permission for that. You get to pause. And you don't just have to move on. You get to let it out. Like, you know, it's just, I can sit here and I can stuff it and I can pretend that everything's fine and, oh, well, we came close. No, we freaking missed our goal by 9 orders. And if that doesn't piss you off, I don't know what to say. Like, we're not on the same level. You're not in my tribe. Like,
literally manipulation to a T. But do you guys remember, if you guys played high school sports, when you would lose and you guys played a bad game the night before, and then the next day at practice you like show up to practice and you're like slightly terrified of what's gonna happen and you're just like waiting for your coach to be like, all right, start running. I imagine that's how her team call went after all of this happened.
it should piss you off. And you get to feel it no matter what your suck is, no matter what obstacle you hit, whether it's in, so many of you are going to want to try a side hustle. Maybe it's not the business I'm in. That's fine. But you're going to hit a wall. And so many of you are, going to start a weight loss journey and you're going to hit a wall. Or maybe in your marriage, you're going to feel like everything's falling apart. And, my CEO said it one time and he didn't make it up, but he's the first person that said it. And I was like, whoa. And he was like, sometimes you have to have a breakdown to have a breakthrough. And that's okay. It's okay to have a breakdown. And I cannot stand this fluffy, everything's rainbow and butterflies. No, screw you. It's not rainbows and butterflies. It freaking sucks right now because we came this close. We came this close. And you get to feel it. So let yourself feel it. And, the second thing that I wrote down is that the reason that you're not going to push through the suck is because you're just going to move on and you're going to tell yourself it's okay. And I want to challenge you if you're that person. If you're that person that's just always like, oh, it's fine, better luck next time. You're not allowing yourself to feel the disappointment, to give yourself some self-awareness and accurately assess what happened.
I don't disagree with that statement at all. I definitely think it's important to feel the feelings and really actually genuinely process them in order to move on, because like I've mentioned before, if you just keep suppressing them, it's going to boil over. However, everything leading up to this point within MLMs, especially the MLM I was in, everything leading up to this point has been suppress the negative feelings, positive mindset. But now, since it's going to benefit her for her team to feel the feelings, she wants them to feel like shit because they didn't help her reach her goal.
We went from 171 down to 9 in 3 days, like with a certain package we were selling. Like, man, we had people coming out of the woodworks, to get involved and to ask. And like, I'm so proud of us, but we didn't do it. We didn't do the job.
Bro, it's not that serious. If you're on her team, literally the fact that you didn't do this, you didn't reach her goal for her, means that you didn't manipulate enough people. So good job. The amount of like entitlement she has is just disgusting.
But you know, I think so many times like we just move on so fast, and the dichotomy to that is that we like want to lay in bed all day. And I did. I laid in bed for 2 hours this morning until Jason came in and said, "What do you need?" I just said, "I need to get out of bed." And I laid there for another second, and then I just got up. And you know, I think sometimes we want to throw in the towel. We want to just stay there and we want to feel it forever, and you can't do that.
If your business defines you to this extent, there's some underlying issues going on. And like I said, it might be the fact that you have to suppress all these negative emotions and shove toxic positivity down everyone's throat when you're in an MLM. But regardless, if you're staying in bed and don't want to get out of bed all day because of this reason alone, there's some other issues going on. It's extremely, extremely selfish, and I would argue narcissistic in ways.
You can't just lay down and die, right? And so I have meetings back to back all day today that I do not want to do. I'm late right now. I am 5 minutes late to a meeting I'm supposed to be on. And I do not want to do these meetings. And it was everything for me at like 2 a.m. to not message everybody and cancel. But that's not what you do. You don't get to decide to dictate the actions for your day based on how you're feeling.
But I thought that's why everyone's supposed to join your MLM. So they don't have to take sick days. They don't have to take vacation days. They can work on their own time. Time freedom, if you will. You don't need mental health days when you're in an MLM, because every day can be a mental health day, right? No?
It might take me a minute. I might be running 5-6 minutes late, but you don't get to decide, because that's how you bow down. That's why you're not successful. That's why you don't reach your goals. That's why you don't go above and beyond. That's why you can't lead a team, because you don't know how to mother trucking lead yourself.
Is that why? Or is it perhaps the fact that 99% of people within MLMs lose money, don't succeed, fail, if you will? Couldn't quite possibly be the business model though, right?
And so I will not bow down to my feelings. And I might cry for as long as I need. And I might be pissed off for as long as I need. But my day will not be dictated by how I feel. And so it's January 1st. I have goals written down, and I'm going to make sure every single one of them is done, even if they're done by 3 a.m. because I'm lazy or I'm frustrated or pissed off. But if you want to crush 2020 and you want to push through your suck, you have to stay committed. And this is discipline. Your motivation is long gone. Your feelings of wanting to do it is long gone. You want to cuss out every heifer you see in sight. You stay disciplined. That is why you don't reach your goals on all aspects of your life. That is why you're overweight. That is why you're unhealthy. That's why you live check to check. That's why your marriage sucks. Because every time you don't feel like doing something, you don't do it. And maybe for you, it's not your feelings. Maybe it's your thoughts. And drop a 4 with me if you resonate with that. And if not, I'm not your cup of tea.
Does she not realize that like health conditions do exist? Like, I get the whole, if you want to do something, set your mind to it and do it. But first of all, physical health conditions do exist. So you talking yourself out of things may not be the reason that you're not losing weight. Also, your marriage could suck for very different reasons. It's not always because you don't know how to set your mind to something or whatever the hell she said. Like, does she not realize also that like mental health issues do exist? And some of these people are not physically and mentally able to get themselves out of bed every day. I know when I was within the MLM, I had a very hard time understanding why people were what I felt like lazy. And I know now that a lot of those people were dealing with very serious mental health issues. And it wasn't until recently that I realized that things like anxiety and depression, they're not a one size fits all. It doesn't always look like someone laying in bed all day crying. Those illnesses show their ugly faces in all different types of ways. Like, is your paycheck worth that much that you're willing to just like hurt as many people in the process as you want to?
But every time you want to stop, you let yourself off the hook. And maybe it's time in 2020 you stop letting yourself off the hook. Maybe you stop just saying, oh, it's okay, better luck next time. No, maybe you need to look in the mirror and you need to say, you know what? I didn't do as good as I could have. And that's why I didn't reach my goal. And not this whole, oh, you deserve it, you worked so hard. No, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I didn't start when I should have started. I didn't rally when I should have rallied. I didn't send one more when I could have sent one more. I didn't embarrass myself when I could have. And that's why the goal wasn't reached.
Does she not realize that some people with these mental health issues have the exact opposite problem? Like, they beat themselves up so much when they don't do what they expected of themselves, and their anxiety tells them that they're never good enough and that they're never going to be good enough and that they're a failure in their marriage and they're a failure in their weight loss. Like, these are the things that go through people's minds who have mental health issues. I know because I developed them while I was within my MLM. So for someone like this to be telling those types of people that they need to get over themselves and it's their fault that they're not good enough and they can always do better is so dangerous for these people. Like, I think I need to do some meditating and get my mind right. I need to take a little chill pill right now because I admired this person so much when I was within my MLM, and so many people admire her in the MLM, look up to her, are influenced by her every single day, and are being fed these lies that they're not good enough and it's their fault that they're not good enough. And don't get me wrong, I understand when people are like limiting their potential because of whatever reason they have in their mind. But when you're sitting here spouting this stuff off because you didn't reach your goal and you're frustrated and you're blaming people, even though you say you don't want to blame people, you're frustrated and you're blaming people. So you're sitting here calling out your team as a group, whether you feel like you're doing that or not. That's exactly what you're doing. You're telling your team that they're not good enough and you have no idea what these people are going through behind closed doors. It's so selfish.
And I am going to own that. 9 orders. Isn't that enough to piss you off? Out of 3 million in sales, we did 2,999,225. So I hope, just like Rachel Hollis said, there was a great video she put out. I hope you suck, and I hope you fail. And I hope that you hit the wall going 100 miles an hour. And I hope that you remember this.
You know what? It doesn't surprise me one bit that she's quoting Rachel Hollis right now, because they're both the same amount of disgusting and they both use the same type of manipulation tactics. So not surprised. Anyways, I'm gonna end on that note. Although that one was extremely difficult for me to watch all the way through, I do appreciate when you guys send me these types of videos, because I feel like I just look at the same people's profiles all the time and the same people's YouTube videos, and so it may get old. You may start seeing like some of the same people, which she was part of the same crew that I do. But it helps me out when you guys send me stuff that you find so that I'm not just covering the same people every single time. So thank you to whoever sent me that. If you guys have reached out to me about highlighting your small business and I haven't responded, that's okay. I promise I'm getting your emails and I'm just highlighting them in the order that they come, but I don't have time to sit down and respond to every single one because my inbox is flooded. So rest assured, I got your email and I will highlight it when it comes up in line. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video more than I did, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Making me feel